Hello and welcome back to another video, and in today's video I am going to be drawing a cloak figure. I don't know, like a plague doctor kinda. Anyways, we're just gonna go ahead and start drawing it. Now I'm gonna draw it in a circle, so I have a circle right here. And we're gonna trace the circle. Get the circle. It's got a little dash or little indents right there, so it's not going to be a full circle, but that's fine. There's a circle. Startle enough. Anyways, let's go ahead and start. It's going to be mostly sideways, facing slightly towards us, looking down a bit, and then the body is going to be right here, covered in cloak, so you're not really going to see it. I might have to move the body actually, or shrink the circle, I don't know. This was just kind of the first circular thing I saw in my room. But what we're going to do is have this, obviously. We're going to go ahead and start drawing the cloak bit, like sketch it out, you know. Get it sketched out. Here. Then we'll need to add the bit right there. Now, obviously, this is dark, this is where it ends, so this would probably have some type of tie or rag, probably a ragged type thing, tie in it, I don't know. We'll think of that later. But it's gonna be not a plague doctor, but a skull, an actual skull. So we have the head. How's the skull gonna look? It's gonna kind of come out like this and go like this. I did kind of want it to come out a little over here because I wanted to be able to see part of it. We're just gonna leave that as is for now. That's not how it's gonna be. I'm just leaving it so I can get the rest of the drawing down first, because I kind of want to get that down first before I worry too much about the head. Alright. Now, do that. That's not exactly how we're going to want that to be, but that's fine. We'll fix it. Alright, that's that looks kind of good. We'll go ahead and keep that. Now for the shoulders, that's going to be a little bit more of an issue because I didn't really have too much of a plan for this. I think I'm actually going to want the circle to be like right here. Or like this. Because I kind of wanted him to be off in the edge of the circle. And then there'd be a little bit right here. Maybe have like a light right here. Like a little fire. Or a little like pixie or something, I don't know. I didn't fully think this through before I started drawing it, because why would I? You don't need to actually see the slit in those clothes, it's fine if you don't. What if I made it like this? Where this is the top half and this is just like a hood that he puts on. Then he has a regular, like another cloak underneath it, kind of. I kind of like that. Maybe we'll go with that. We'll need to add a little bit of a pattern on it, which will most likely be detailing this a decent amount, but probably the detailing won't be in the video. Or, well, it will, but it'll be time-lapsed, because it'll be at the very end. But we're going to go ahead and erase this so we can try and get the head down now. I really don't know what I'm going to want the head to look like. I mean, I do, but I don't at the same time. I want it to be staring at me, but not. What if I just do a little bit of a normal face first? Alright, but that's very small. Kind of want that his face to be bigger. Alright, let's try to use that as a base. We're also going to draw the cloak again, just so the sketch of the cloak doesn't get like lost underneath the attempts at this. Alright, there we go, there's that. Which there would also be a dip here, but that doesn't matter at the moment. How are we going to do this skull? Alright, so we have the face pointing out. So if we were to have it point from the back of the head outwards, this would be where the tip would end up being. So, and that comes from there. So what if we bring that up to the eye level? Then we're going to want to have it down here, bring that down a bit, have this so we can go like that, and make this a little more skull shaped. Add some eyes, a little more detail, some more scribbles, some indentations actually, and then the holes. Then we're probably going to want these to actually be relatively big. Add a little more detail here, which you can't really see. Then add some holes here and here. There. Alright. This looks like an absolute mess, but I think I know what I'm doing now. That's all that really matters, is that I know what I'm doing. Alright. Go ahead and sharpen that. Good enough, probably. Probably shouldn't throw that. That is broken. Okay. Did I break this? No. So, we obviously want it to go back out to the tip right here. But then we also want it to kind of round, go like this. Alright. That looks wrong. This might take a while. This is probably going to be the majority of the video. Me trying to get this skull to look correct, because I don't really draw skulls. Maybe I should try to ditch this and do just side view, because I feel like I could do like just side view, because it'd just be like this basically. And then some holes here and here. And then bam, you got bird skull. But I don't know. I like this. It's just I'm not doing it right. Let's bring this forward a little bit more. Alright, what am I doing wrong? So we want to be able to see the head. It's obviously facing forward a little bit. Where is the head? Well, we already decided it's right here, obviously. So where's the face facing? Well, we can go ahead and say like right there. So where's this then? Well, it's facing down a bit. But then he's facing too much that way. He needs to be facing more that way. More pretty much straight out, just a little down. Alright. I really don't want to have to give up on drawing this, but I am not doing it right, and I don't know why. Okie dokie. First, let's go ahead and just do that. Now, what are we doing? What are we doing? Why is it not doing? Let's think about it. Well, we've got the skull. We've got the head. We've got the circle. But this little cone actually comes off of the circle. It is not part of the circle. The circle being the skull. It is not part of it. So what if we try to draw the skull first, and then deal with the extra bits after? That could work, maybe. Maybe we can try this. But that's the thing. Now, this looks kind of wrong. Not super wrong. It's just kind of too small. And the nose is wrong. But how do we make it bigger? If I were to have just filled that in and done that, like, that looks fine. It's just too small. If this were digital, and just select big in. But I can't do that. This isn't digital. I need to erase it and draw it again, but bigger. Alright. Let's try this again. Make it bigger. Go ahead and start the eye up here. Make it go down to like right there. Alright. There we go. Now there's that. Go ahead and get this out. There we go. Then what are we doing? We gotta fill that in. And then we're gonna have to add some skull details that we're kind of actually just making up. Maybe that's also part of the reason this hasn't been looking right, because I don't entirely know what skulls look like. I do have a reference up there, but it is looking at me, so I'm not entirely sure what they look like from this perspective. I think that's definitely a better size. We're going to want it to kind of be dark over here and shade into light, although that's not too important at the moment. We're going to go like that, this, this. Try to get these looking right, you know. Right. I think that this looks pretty good. Now there are some little holes that I am currently missing. There's one right there and a little one right here on the details of the skull, but I think that looks good. Which I did actually shade the skull, although it will end up being white and everything else will be dark. That's what the skull is gonna look like. How long's this been? 15 minutes. Alright, we probably got another 5 or 10 minutes in this video before I switch to time-lapse mode. Alright. We're gonna just try to clean up the details a little bit, you know? That's not exactly what we wanted that to look like, but that's fine. Cleaning them up a little bit, just a little couple clean up details. There we go. And we'll go ahead and get some lines in here where the folds need to be, or where the folds would be. There we go, add some detail on here. And then what is the final thing we're gonna need to do? Well, we'll draw the little cloak that's down here. I don't know, would we want to include an arm? No, we don't want an arm. This makes him look kind of big, which he's not big. I want him to look kind of smaller actually, so I think we need to adjust some of this. Get out of here. I don't need that in my hand anymore. I don't know why I'm still holding it. Alright. There we go. Still looks kind of big. I don't know what to do about that. Maybe, just did have an idea. Let's go ahead and erase that and that. There we go. Go ahead and kind of curve that a little bit because it should actually be curved a little bit more than it is. Now what do we need to do here? What was I doing again? Oh yeah. So this is where the shoulder would be. So we would draw body here. And then we can draw some body here. Which makes him look smaller, yes. That is intentional. We're doing this as to try to show separation between there and there. Anyways, what we need to do, raise the bottom of this, raise the bottom of this, raise the bottom of this, throw my pencil because that was a mistake. This is the front of him. We go, this is the back gets a big ol' whoop-de-doop-de, front gets that. There we go, kind of like that. And then we can kind of do some weirder things with like what it actually ends up looking like. Because, well, it is like not that important. Alright, there we go. That looks a little bit better, I think. Yeah, that's definitely better. Alright, but we're gonna need to shade that stuff then, but that's fine. It is kind of small though compared to the rest of it. But then now it's too short, son of a bitch. Now it needs to be longer. Get the hell out of here, hair. Alright. There we go. Now a erase it, erase it. Now add it onto here. That looks a little better, but still not that amazing. I just really don't like what the body looks like here, but I mean, I don't know what I'm supposed to do here with it. Like, do I need to add some fabric? Do like this little fabric thingy. This fabric. Add some fabric onto it. Does that fix it? Fabric fixes everything, right? Alright, let's just... Yep, it's beautiful. Is it really? No, I'm not going to keep those. I just wanted to add them, honestly. The perspective of this is all very weird. I honestly have no idea where the any of the perspective is even facing, because I genuinely lost where I put the perspective. He doesn't have a shoulder. There's no shoulder on here. Like, if he had a shoulder, there would be a little bend from here to here, which he just doesn't have, really. I guess I can give him a little bit of a shoulder, because I mean, I should. He should have a shoulder. Then I should probably do a little bit of, like, this loops out here over the other half, right? Right, that makes sense, kinda, because, like, this is also the side. Makes sense to me, but does it make sense on the paper? What if we add a little bit of a sharper that? There we go, there and there. Perfection. Is it really? No, but it's chill. Okie dokie, that looks swell enough. It's pretty decent. Alright. Still got the body, you know, right here. Now, what is the body? I don't know. I'm just putting a bunch of torn fabric right here. But I think I'm going to end the video here, and the rest of it's going to be time-lapse. All we're going to be adding, if anything, is maybe a floating candle or some sort of light source here, and trying to make it look cleaner. That's it. Alright, time-lapse. Well, that took me about 16 minutes. I think it turned out pretty darn good. My hand's got a bunch of pencil lead on it. Yeah. I don't know what his name is. I'll leave a name in the comments for him. See you tomorrow.